Hi and welcome. In this video I'm going to build a little nightstand to go between these two twin beds in our newly purchased RV. This RV has a configuration of rear twin beds that can be converted to a king-size bed with inserts. But with this bedding that we've purchased, it seems like that piece is very tight, even though it's nice that it has cup holders, but I think a little nightstand with a drawer is going to do much better. So I'll just take some measurements. Width about 16 inches. I think depth I'll do about 22 inches. Height about 9 inches. So for the size, I went through my scrap bin and found some alder that are long enough. Just have to glue them up in plain. For the top and bottom, which are much larger, just going to start cutting and milling some rough alder lumber. The panels for the side and the top are now complete. For the larger pieces for the top and bottom, I did glue two pieces together, then two pieces together, put them through the planer, and then glued the final two pieces just because I have a 15-inch planer only, and this needs to be 22 inches. So now we'll get to cutting the pieces to size. Here are the 4 pieces cut to size. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I do have a festool domino, just going to make some joints with that. For the back, I'm going to use a 1/4-inch panel. So the next step is to cut the 1/4-inch groove in the sides and the top and the bottom. We'll use the router table for that. For the back panel, I cut a piece 15 inches by 8 inches, and it just fits great. Next step is to do the full assembly. So here's the nightstand all glued up. Just have to wait for the glue to cure now. Now I have the nightstand all sanded. Now I'll just have to mark the placement of the cup holders. I'm doing a 14-inch drawer, so I need to be at least, say, 15 from the edge. And just a matter of placing these and marking. I did buy a 3 5/8 hole saw bit. Here I have a glue up for the drawer front. So we'll mark this roughly. I think 2 inches from the edges will be fine. One and 3/4 there. So get the center, and we'll drill the hole next. Now I'm ready to drill the 3 5/8 hole. Of course, this would have been better to do on the drill press before assembling the box, but I had ordered the bit and I didn't want to wait for it to come in. So I'm sure we'll be able to manage. Just going to round over the edge a little bit. Now with the 2 holes cut, they should fit in there. There's a little edge. I'm sure once it's finished, I'll get it in perfect. Now we're ready to stain. I've sanded to 220 grit. Because this is alder, I'm going to apply pre-stain first. So we'll do that next. Instructions say to let dry for 10 to 15 minutes and do a light sanding. ready to stain now. I'm using a weathered gray stain. Hopefully that'll match the cabinets a little bit. Here's the drawer front all stained. Now I'll continue with the nightstand box. Here's a nightstand with the stain applied. Now I just have to wait for 24 hours for the stain to dry, and then we can do the poly. So now I'm going to measure for the drawer measurements. Width is just a little over 14.5. Height 7.5. So I guess I'll make the drawer just under 7 inches. And with the drawer slides, have to subtract an inch, about 13.5, and I'll be making it 14 inches deep. I've completed the construction of the drawer using 1/2 inch plywood. So now I'm ready to apply the poly on both the drawer and the nightstand. After 3 sets of poly, now ready to complete the drawer installation. So I do have this jig. I've set it to the 5 inches for the drawer pull. And halfway through the drawer front. And then center it 14.5, so 7.25. Mark the holes. Then we can drill these holes. Later this will be attached to here once we install the drawer. So for now I'm just going to pre-drill a few holes. Note, I did find this drawer pull on Amazon. It had the 5 inch center. They're a little bit shorter on each end, but it'll match well enough. Now we'll install the drawer slides. Again, these are 14 inch slides for the 14 inch drawer. I've just had this little spacer so they'll be even on both sides. And a piece of wood the same thickness as the drawer front for the inset drawer. So now I'll do the same for the other side. So here we have the 2 drawer slides installed. Just going to use a little bit spacers here. Install the drawer. Install the first screw. Now for the drawer front, I just installed it and used these handy shims to center the drawer. So as a temporary hold, we'll put these screws in. Remove this shims. We'll push the drawer out and put in the permanent screws using 1 inch cabinet screws. Now with the 4 cabinet screws in holding the drawer front, we can remove the temporary screws. Next we'll drill the holes all the way through the drawer front and the drawer box. Now we're ready to install the drawer handle. The supplied bolts are just not quite long enough, so I have to go find some longer ones. So here's a couple of screws I cut to size. There we are. As I did not want this to be a permanent installation, I'm going to put some of this rubber strips on the bottom side, hopefully, so it won't slide around once it's installed in the RV. So last step is to install the cup holders. Let's see if we can get them in. Nice fit. Perfect fit. Now it's time to put it into the RV. Here's the finished nightstand installed between our rear twin beds and our RV. I think it's looking pretty good. It's a little darker than the other finish, but I think it still looks good. With the rubber strips on the bottom, I think it's going to stay there just fine. Nice soft closing drawer slides, so I think that'll stay shut when we're traveling. This concludes this video of the construction of this nightstand for our RV. I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so. Hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.